Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. My name's Simon. This is my daily Bitcoin price action analysis. I hope you are well and happy Wednesday to you all. Halfway through the week and I've got a bit of a frog in my throat, but that's all fine. Cleared it out. There it goes. Yeah, so clearly the uptrend is still alive and well. Before I get straight into the price action, I just want to remind you this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. Having said that, doing a bit of a check-in on the momentum. So this is a daily chart, excuse me again, and you can see that the momentum in the shape, in the form of RSI here, has been up around these highs, these high areas, overbought, or sort of extreme areas, whatever you want to call them, for a while now. Going back to, where's my crosshair? There's my crosshair. I've got you in my crosshairs. Really, February this year was when it kind of entered into the upper realms of momentum, and it's it's not impossible for Bitcoin to stay there forever, but it's unlikely. And so, small pullbacks are becoming more probable when Bitcoin spends a large amount of time up in these overbought areas. But bearing in mind that the RSI pulled right back to below 50% on this run up, and it had significant pullbacks on the lower time frames, but the upper time frame uptrend, the higher time frame, so daily and above, higher time frame uptrend remained in place the whole time. And the only real pullback itself occurred when the RSI started to dip below 50%. I'm not saying that's tradable advice. It's just an observation with regards to how price and momentum can sometimes, and that's of course divergence, but they can sometimes, price can continue up despite declining momentum. That's what I'm saying. So maybe the same will happen as momentum starts to decline here. I don't know because I can't predict the future, but we shall see. Right, I'm just going to dip down into the lower time frames now. So here's the 4 hour, and this kind of shows you the lines that have gone on a bit more obviously. So that kind of wick low there, setting in a lower border or a support resistance line coming in about 59. And then the previous all-time high area was around 70,500, and that gave me this range with a midpoint in between at 64.5. Now Bitcoin has closed several 4-hour closures above that range high, and continues to do so despite this crazy wick that happened yesterday. So that's certainly intact, as is the new all-time high. What it's not done so well is bust on through, and it's sort of hovering around 73,000 at the moment. And I'll show you in a bit more detail in a 15-minute time frame. You can quite clearly see here some divergence on the 4-hour from these prices, and then where, these are all kind of local highs, where the prices are now. It's starting to gain momentum again. You can see that the RSI is starting to build again rather than decline. And it's been doing that really since here. So since it kind of got up towards the top of the previous range and then broke through. So the momentum is building again, but it's still not as high on the RSI index as it was back over here and indeed here. So there is still some divergence of the bearish nature. So I'm going to get rid of the RSI at that point and move down to the 15-minute. Oh, I should have pointed out, I've just got a trend line here representing these wick lows on the 4-hour. So they are indeed all higher wick. Yes, higher wick lows. I'm not sure that's a recognized trading phrase, but it's one I've just made up and I'm going to use it. And it's certainly still in place at the moment. A significant 4-hour price would be below this, where it kind of wicked down to yesterday, and that would also confirm that on a 4-hour the price has broken back into this range that I'd set up. So that would probably negate any short-term further upside move, and maybe price would move back down to around 64.5, but it's certainly not heading there right now. Coming down to the lower time frames, that's how things look on the 15-minute. So yep, still a sequence of higher lows, and indeed higher highs. But you can see how sticky this whole area is. It's just a really sticky area. And there was absolutely an impulsive move down, and then an impulsive move basically in the early hours this morning. A lot of that has retraced, although up until, so let me just quickly flick back to the 4-hour. There hasn't been a 4-hour closure yet back below my support resistance line at the top. And there's a few hours left to go on that one, 2.5 hours left to go on this candle. Is it likely to break? Well, lower time frame closures back below 72,500. That would probably signify a 4-hour closure back below this support resistance line, and maybe some more downside. You can see that there are potential trend lines emerging here on the lower time frames. You have got a couple of lower highs. On the not so low time frames, you've still got higher lows in place. So for me, on the lower time frames, this is a key area. Should it be broken? Probably more downside, and maybe a move to kind of this mid area, sort of 70, probably sort of 72 to 71.5 roughly. And that would be a good sort of 50% pullback on this move, and maybe some upside after that. But overall, the top of this range looks very sticky for Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't do some basically sideways movement for a little while longer. That's all clearly negated with a move back above. It's like high 73,000s, which is the current all-time high. It's quite nice to talk about all-time highs all the time. Right, where am I? Whoa, 9 minutes. 9 minutes? How is it 9 minutes? Anyway, that's probably enough for me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it in some way useful. And if you have, please like and subscribe. If you haven't, then don't come back tomorrow, because I'll be doing it all again. And that'll be Thursday. So take care, have a good Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.